All right.
I won't be the messenger of this bad news.
Or good news. All right.
Or good news, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. All right. So Zelda Breath of the Wild's Champions Ballad DLC marks the conclusion of the game. No more Breath of the Wild DLC that we know of. They might surprise us and release another Xenoblade type situation when a future game comes out. It would be cool to see if they ever come out with an Animal Crossing, or if Metroid comes out and you get the blaster cannon or whatever it's called from Metroid, or you can like find Samus's armor. Like if they do a cross promotion with some future games, whether it's the Kirby game coming out or whatever, it would be cool if they continued it like that. But as for huge DLC packs like the Champions Ballad or the first DLC pack, Master Trials, we apparently won't be getting any more of that, which is good and bad. It's a bittersweet ending, I guess, is how you could say it.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people wanted more
yes
out of the DLC. And I kind of agree and disagree. Like I really enjoyed what DLC we got. I thought it was really great to just sort of flesh out the game more. Yeah. But like I just, if someone was like, hey, there's more game for you, I'm like, great. You know, so I wouldn't argue either way.
And in the video that we posted earlier talking about all of the potential Zelda games to come in 2018, 19, 20, and beyond, there was a part where I was talking about with games like Call of Duty, where they have a lot of DLC, or even Assassin's Creed, there is a lot of times where the main developers, as soon as the game's finished, they might work on one DLC pack themselves, but soon after, or even before the game finishes, they begin pre-production of whatever the next game is. And then they have like 90% of the team will move on, and they'll have 10% stay and create additional content to keep people interested in the current game while they work on the new game. Or sometimes the entire team will move on, work on the new game, and they'll just hire another team to work on DLC, which is what a bad situation for this happened with Street Fighter V, where Capcom hired a second team to work on some of the DLC characters. And one of the DLC characters, I remember it was a big news story when it came out. A lot of people complained that the artwork for the character just looked horrible compared to the other characters. So like like it looked like, instead of it being a character designed for the PlayStation 4, it looked like they just brought up a character from like a PlayStation 3 and just had it in the game. Like it was missing a lot of the same details and everything that the other was. So there are bad situations where a team just doesn't put as great of work as the original development team. But hopefully that's not going to happen for Breath of the Wild, because as we stated, Breath of the Wild is finished, which means I assume sometime in 2018 you can expect a not a collector's edition, but like a Game of the Year edition or a complete edition that has.
Well, I wouldn't be down to get it for myself because I don't want to buy the game twice. Yeah. But you know, it would be really cool for them to do a Game of the Year edition. Yeah. That just includes the DLC already.
I would imagine the actual game would drop to like $50, and then you can buy the complete edition for $60.
Yeah, that seems fair.
So, yeah. To give a little bit more on this, Nintendo Life says, it might sound like stating the obvious, but The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's Champions Ballad DLC officially brings the game to a close. There will be no more content released from this point onwards, Nintendo has confirmed. But as I said, I'm still skeptical of this. I believe they will be cross-promotion like there was with Xenoblade.
Like the Xenoblades,
Yes, just not like a paid-for DLC. Zelda series producer Eiji Aonuma delivered the news. Where's it? Eiji Aonuma? My mind's
Eiji Aonuma?
Yeah.
Eiji? I don't know.
Delivered the news in an interview with Famitsu, stating that the release of the DLC means the game is now complete. There will be no further DLC expansions. So no more expansions. But we might have the small quests. We already know that work has begun on the next Zelda outing, so it makes sense that the team at Nintendo has shifted its attention away from Breath of the Wild. However, given the incredible success of the game and the fact that other publishers are supporting their big games for months, sometimes years after release, one does wonder if it would have made more sense for Aonuma and his team to continue to expand the world of Hyrule DLC packs throughout 2018. I think they would be happy to continue working on DLC because I think they know fans, as great as the first DLC season pass worked, fans will continue, especially after winning Game of the Year, because they could easily be like, oh, here's DLC Pack 3, it adds in the dungeons you all wanted. And then everyone's just going to like storm in on it. But I think it kind of makes more sense to get a fresh start on whatever the next Zelda game is, and then just include whatever you were going to add to Breath of the Wild, just make that part of the next game.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if anyone's really, really down about the fact that there's not going to be more DLC, like, this just means they are working on the next Zelda game. That's exciting. This is good news, you know?
And as the
like
video
said,
that we posted earlier, they're not just working on the next Zelda game, but potentially at least 2, and then most likely 3, because there is the Switch team, or the home console team, and the handheld team, which Nintendo already confirmed they were experimenting and working on stuff with the 2D Zelda games, so you can expect that next year or 2019. I don't think it'll come out any later than 2019. It'll probably come out next year, because that would be, if it comes out in 2019, I think that would be the longest development time Nintendo has had with a handheld game since Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
So usually it takes 2 to 3 years, and I think 2018 would mark the 3-year run, so 2019 would be 4 years, which is almost as long as it takes to create or develop an actual like main series Zelda game. So there's always that, and then of course Grezzo could be working on something. They hinted to something recently. There could be Hyrule Warriors 2. Tantalus, who worked on Twilight Princess HD, could be working on Skyward Sword HD. You never know. So there's always possibilities.
And just think about how much stuff came out between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild. Like pretty much since Skyward Sword, we got the whole Zelda series again, like close to it. Like I'm hyperbolizing a bit, but that time between 2011 to now was a great time to be a Zelda fan, because we got all of these releases, and we got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D. We got A Link Between Worlds. We got Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD.
Triforce
Heroes. I feel like I'm forgetting something else, but and Hyrule Warriors came out, and Legends
on both consoles.
So it's like, we had a great run here, man. Like this was
the entire Zelda collection was available on whether it was the 3DS eShop or the Wii U eShop. You could even play the DS games on your Wii U.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a great time to be a Zelda fan, so I'm really looking forward to whatever they've got coming up, because I feel like they've been just pulling out all the stops, and I'm looking forward to what's next. It's gonna be good.
Alright, so I think we're done with the news.
Yes. 2 hours of news.
Oh wow. Someone mentioned earlier, are we going to talk about the there is, I guess, a Link to the Past inspired game?
A Zelda game, or like an indie game?
An indie game. Kind of like Rhyme, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But more Link to the Past instead of Skyward Sword. I'm trying to find it. RPG said, have you covered the release of Zelda A Link to the Past homage, Close Blossom Tales? So, quick Google of that. Action RPG's Tales is set to bloom on Switch eShop. Let's take a quick look at it. You can Google it. Oh my god, it is. It is a total ripoff of A Link to the Past.
It's called Bloom?
Blossom Tales.
Is that right?
Blossom Tales.
Blossom Tales?
Yes.
Blossom.
Unrelated to the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh wow, yeah, that is very much A Link to the Past inspired.
Yeah, it's like...
Wow.
It looks... if they would have made an 8-bit version instead of a 16-bit version of A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Maybe... But like, it looks somewhere... Like, it doesn't look as good as
it looks a
16-bit
in the
game.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks somewhere in the mid-range.
It's like a 13-bit.
Like 12.
A 12-bit.
Yeah, no, that's very good. That looks good.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. It looks neat.
Do you want to talk about it real quick?
There's a nice little picture on Google here that has like a Super Nintendo box art mock-up, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should move on to the Curiosity Shop.
All right. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, while you do that, I will eat 1 potato chip. Here it is.
Alright, so everybody in the chat, we are moving to our Zelda Mailbag, the Curiosity Shop, where we answer your Zelda submitted questions. So, for the people in the chat, leave your questions. I see RPG's taking over the chat for now. Leave your...
He is very active.
Leave your... Yes, he's active, used to be active in the actual videos as well. But he always comes into the live videos that I do.
Well, it's good to have you, RPG.
Yeah. So, everybody watching, the 6 of you, I guess, half of you dropped out since earlier. But if you have any Zelda questions that you would like to have answered, please... comment them, and if we have enough time when we're finished, we will get to them. So, and for now, we can start the Curiosity Shop. So,
yes,
have to do a new intro for this. Again, you guys are seeing behind the scenes stuff. All right. The videos on this channel are funded by supporters on Patreon like you. If you're a fan of this channel and would like to join on videos, receive shoutouts, watch videos early, have your questions answered, or have your topic discussed on our podcast, please consider supporting on Patreon for these and many other rewards for just $1. Shoutouts for this video includes Link Use the Triforce, Rusty Caulfield, Lovable Christy, Give Time 15, Shadow to Us, Robbie Morgan, and Lunarium. I want to thank all of you for everything you have done to help support this channel.